In early 2025, Scotland's criminal underworld exploded into violence. Cars were firebombed, homes were attacked, and machete assaults took place in the middle of residential streets. Police eventually made over 60 arrests as gang warfare spread across Edinburgh and Glasgow. But the chaos didn't start with a murder. It started with fake money, a £500,000 cocaine deal that turned out to be paid with counterfeit banknotes, and within weeks, that scam would ignite one of Scotland's most violent gang feuds in years. The story begins in Liverpool and Northern England in early 2024. At the centre of the operation was Stanley "Big Stan" Carnell, a 74-year-old career criminal from Woolton, Liverpool. Carnell helped run a counterfeit money factory, producing fake Royal Bank of Scotland £20 notes. On the 7th of February 2024, police raided a warehouse in Rochdale, Greater Manchester. Inside the building, officers discovered a counterfeit production line. Investigators seized approximately £380,000 worth of fake banknotes being printed and prepared for distribution. The counterfeit money was intended to circulate within criminal networks across the UK, but a large portion of those fake notes would soon be used in a drug deal that went terribly wrong. Later in 2024, criminals in Scotland arranged a major cocaine transaction. The deal involved approximately £500,000 worth of cocaine. The buyer was linked to rising Scottish underworld figure Ross "Miami" McGill, a gang leader connected to the Junto gang. But when the payment was made, the sellers discovered something shocking. The cash used in the deal was counterfeit. Investigators later confirmed that the fake banknotes came from the counterfeit network linked to Stanley Carnell. In the criminal underworld, being cheated out of £500,000 has consequences, and within weeks, violence erupted across Scotland. The feud officially exploded in March 2025. Members of the Junto gang, linked to Ross McGill, launched a revenge campaign against rival groups. Targets included associates of Edinburgh drug boss Mark Richardson and members of the Daniel crime family in Glasgow. Across the central belt of Scotland, the attacks escalated quickly. Criminals carried out firebombings of homes, vehicle arson attacks, machete assaults, and attempted murders. The conflict became so severe that Police Scotland launched a major investigation called Operation Portaledge. One of the most dangerous attacks happened in May 2025. On the night of the 22nd of May 2025, gang members targeted the home of David Macmillan, a 54-year-old associate of rival criminals. Several attackers arrived outside his property in Greenbank, Edinburgh. They were armed with petrol and weapons. 2 vehicles outside the home, a Land Rover and an Audi, were soaked in petrol and set on fire. Children were inside the house at the time. The arson attack could easily have killed innocent people. Police later linked the attack directly to the gang feud triggered by the fake money cocaine deal. As violence spread, Police Scotland launched Operation Portaledge, a massive organised crime investigation. The operation resulted in 63 arrests, seizures of weapons, and multiple gang members charged with violent offences. Detectives uncovered a network of criminals involved in firebombings, machete attacks, gang assaults and drug trafficking. One by one, suspects were arrested and brought before the High Court. Several gang members responsible for the firebombing attacks were eventually sentenced at the High Court in Edinburgh. Kieran Abercrombie, 32, for his role in organising and carrying out firebombing attacks, was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Robert Thompson, 18, for being the one responsible for soaking the 2 vehicles in petrol, was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison. Kenzie Gardner, 19, for participating in coordinated gang attacks, was sentenced to 5 years and 4 months in prison. Tyler Ramage, 19, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for setting fire to the vehicles during the attack. The judge told the group their crimes represented very serious organised gangsterism. Meanwhile, the counterfeit money operation that sparked the feud was also brought to court. On 29th of January 2026, Stanley "Big Stan" Carnell was sentenced at Leeds Crown Court. He was convicted of conspiracy to make counterfeit currency for helping produce the fake Scottish banknotes. Stanley Carnell 74, was sentenced to 4 years in prison as being he was a key figure in the counterfeit banknote operation. 2 of his accomplices were also convicted. Lee Mitchell, 54, sentenced to 7 years in prison for organized counterfeit production, and John Sutcliffe, 42, was given 20 months in prison, but was released due to time served on remand for assisting in the counterfeit scheme. The court heard that the fake notes produced by this group ultimately sparked the violent gang war in Scotland. What started as a simple criminal scam, a £500,000 cocaine deal paid with fake cash, triggered a chain reaction of violence across Scotland. Homes were attacked, cars were firebombed, and dozens of gang members ended up behind bars. But the man many believe orchestrated the revenge campaign, Ross Miami McGill, remains a mysterious figure in the international underworld.